Hello, I'm going to show you how to use our Bose sound system, right from unpacking it to setting it up and packing it up again. So when you grab the system, you want to make sure you have 4 bags, okay? So we've got 2, these are going to be the main speaker towers, okay, these 2 here. And then here is our sub. This gives you kind of the low frequencies. And this is the bass that makes everything work together. So we're going to start with the bass. So when you unwrap the bass, there's going to be some feet that you just simply pull out. And they come out like that. That gives the bass stability. All right. And then you're going to pull out these speakers and they clip right into the bass. Really easy. Okay, you're going to notice this one on the bottom. Okay, it's kind of got this plastic end. Okay, and then the other end is basically flat. Okay, so that's how you know this is the one that goes into the bass. There's going to be a notch out here, and you're going to see how it lines up with here. So you're just simply going to line it up, and it goes in, and you're going to hear it click. It's a very light click kind of thing. And then it's all the way in. And I'm going to do that with the next speaker now. Now this one, you notice, it's got a metal bar there. And that's what's going to clip into the back of this one here. So if you come around to the side here, you're going to see how this goes straight into a little bracket here. And that is going to clip in like that. And it just slides down. There we go. We have set up the speaker system. It's that simple. Now that we've done that, we're going to go back into the pockets in this first bag that we opened. Okay, we're going to have, this is basically our sound board. This is where we're going to plug in our microphones and control the sound all from here. Okay, and then we also have a few cables in here. Okay, we'll walk through the cables in a second. There's one more little important piece. This is a piece we don't want you to lose, okay? This is a little metal piece here, and this clips in on the back of this speaker. So I'm going to show you that. Okay, there is a, you'll see this one has a little notch kind of in and around it. That's going to go into the back here and just fit nice and snug like that. This post is going to connect into this hole here, and that allows the speaker or this mixer to sit right on the speaker like that. There we go. So now I'm going to press this little button and take off the cap. So now we can see that that is kind of where we're going to control everything from. All right. One more thing that I will unpack, and then we'll start connecting the cables. This is the sub, and it's actually just a cover that slides over the sub. Okay, typically we'll put the sub right next to the speaker like that, although depending on the setup you can move it around and kind of put it where you feel the best low end will be. All right, and now we're going to connect this and power it up. So the first thing we want to connect is the power itself. Okay, so we've got a power cord here. This looks kind of like what you would plug into a computer monitor or a computer. All right, so that's going to plug into the bass. Okay, and you'll see just kind of your standard plug. So that plugs into the bass, and then I'm going to plug it into the wall. All right. Next, we've got this blue cable, and this is what we're going to use to plug in to the sub. So there's only one place on the bass for it to plug into, and I'll get you to come in nice and close, and I'll just show you how it plugs in and then twists, okay? So this metal part is going to go facing that way. All right, and you can see there's a little metal thing in there. Going to slide it in, and you'll hear it click. And I'm going to do the same thing to this sub. You'll notice there's two here. It doesn't matter, you can plug it into either one and that will work. So again, this metal thing is going to face this little metal thing in there, and I'm going to turn it till it clicks. And that's all you need to do to connect the sub. Finally, I'm going to connect our little mixing board here. Okay, this almost looks like a mic cable, but when you actually look at the ends, it looks like a computer Ethernet cable on the inside. So I'll unwrap that, and it doesn't matter which end goes to which. Okay, you'll just plug it into, almost again, looks like that Ethernet plug on here. And we've got lots of cable here, so if someone, say you wanted to mix away from this stand, kind of off to the side, you've got enough cable to do that. All right, now we're ready to turn things on. So I'm going to start by turning on the little mixer here. And then I'll also turn on the bass. Now, the mixer doesn't actually power on until the bass is on. All right, but you'll see there's a little blue light here that indicates I've got power on. And then we'll go to the soundboard here. And this also powers up blue, so that we know that it's all on. I'm going to walk you through some basic setups, and we'll plug in a microphone to do that. So I've got a microphone here, and it's pretty easy in the sense that only one end can plug into the microphone, and the other end plugs into the back of this mixer board. I'm going to plug it into channel 1 here. Now these channels you can actually plug in. This is called an XLR, or a mic cable. You could also plug in what we call a 1/4 inch, which would be for like a keyboard or a guitar or stuff like that. You can plug either into these first 3 channels. Okay, so I'm going to plug this in. All right, it goes in nice and simple. All right, if it's not working, you just kind of twist it a little bit until it goes in nice and straight. Okay, so let's go back over to the front here, and I'll just point out a few different things. So here's our master volume. Okay, we're going to set this to start at about 12 o'clock, halfway. Okay, and then we have, you can see here, all 4 channels. The last channel is what they call a stereo channel, and we'll explain that in a minute. But let's start with channel 1. Okay, this is going to be, and you can see now when I'm talking, this green light comes on, okay? And then this little button below the green light, that's called trim, and that's what kind of sets the main input volume for this channel, okay, for this microphone. So I want to get that. If it's too loud, it's going to actually distort. So let's start again with about 50% at 12 o'clock, okay? Now I'm going to unmute this channel, and you're going to hear some sound come out. I'm also going to bring down, this is the output channel for this microphone. So again, we've got the input volume, the output volume for the channel, and then the master output for the whole system. So I'm going to start all the way at 0. I'm going to unmute, and then I'm slowly going to bring this up until I can hear myself. There we go. So now we've got already sound in a microphone. All right, and then I can just bring it up and down as I need. Alrighty, so that is typically all you're going to need if you're just doing a basic microphone setup for this. But let's go through a little bit deeper now in some of the effects you can do. So let's say you have someone singing and you have a microphone. You want to add some reverb to make it sound a little bit more like it's in a full room or something like that. So we're going to walk through that now. And that's where this other button comes in really handy, okay? So this one here allows us, and you can kind of read all the different things it allows us to do, all right? It gives us a reverb type, gives us how much reverb, delay, EQ, all of these things. Don't get too overwhelmed, all right? But again, if you just need to talk, that's all you need. Even for singing, that's all you need. But if you want to be able to do a little bit more, you've got that there. Now I'm going to turn this microphone off just so that you don't hear kind of both coming through, okay? But we'll keep walking it through. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to twist this to reverb. So I'm going to select reverb, okay? And then it's going to tell me on channel 1 the effects is muted, okay? And you can see here, effects. So what FX means is the reverb and the delay and compression, gate, all of those effects on the microphone itself are muted. So when I unmute it, then that's going to allow me to have effects coming through. So I've unmuted that, and now let's, I'm going to turn this microphone on again so you can actually hear what that sounds like. All right, so there it is without the reverb, and now when I turn it on, there's a whole bunch of reverb. I sound like I'm in a big room or something like that. So for talking, it doesn't sound very good at all. Maybe you have this set up and you're like, man, what is this for the talking part? Well, you probably need to mute the effects so that it sounds a little bit clearer for talking. But for singing, you may want a little bit of those effects to have it sound nice, okay? Now, once I've unmuted the effects and I've gone to reverb, it gives me some controls on this little screen here, all right? And so I can control with these little knobs, rate what's above it. So this one says mix and this one says bright. So as I turn the mix down, I've turned down how much reverb is coming into this channel. And as I turn it up, I can turn up how much reverb is coming through the channel. Now there's a lot of reverb coming through. All right, and then I can also change how bright and full that reverb sounds, right? I can do the same thing with the different effects, delay, the modification, compression gate. Don't worry too much about that if you're not used to running sound on a fuller system or something like that. You don't need to know all of that stuff. But if it's there, if you know how to use it and you want to use it, okay? Again, if this is kind of overload for you and going, this is way past me, just press the mute for the effects and it's back to just simply talking. And even for singing, it'll still amplify and sound nice and clear. All right, so let's go through one more thing, which would be if I wanted to connect a computer or an iPod or a music device. That's where this channel 4 and 5 is going to come in. So channel 4 and 5, when you look on the back, we're going to see two XLRs that say 4 and 5, okay? And these two here, 4 and 5, this is what I would use when we're plugging in an external output, okay? So whether it be a music device or something like that, and that's going to give us this stereo sound of left and right channel, okay? And so once I plug it into that, then I simply do the same thing that I did with this channel here. I'm going to mute the effects first because I don't want that, and then I will bring up the trim until this light is nice and green, start off with 0, unmute the channel, and then bring the volume up until I'm nice and happy. All right, again, you can turn up the master volume if you need to, but I wouldn't turn up the master volume until I'm kind of struggling to get enough volume out. Start everything at about that 12 o'clock. And then if you need more volume, go from there. This will help so that you don't get a ton of feedback or blow people's head off with too much sound at the beginning. Okay? And I think that's about it. One more thing I forgot to point out. You'll notice on here it says CH Edit. And that's for the channel edit. So that allows me to edit each channel that I go through. So when I plug, you'll see channel 4 and 5, channel 3. Okay, and so that allows me to edit each channel, okay? And then whatever channel I've selected, this now applies to that channel. So if I go to EQ, now I'm EQing that channel for what I need, okay? Again, if you don't understand EQ or stuff like that, you don't have to worry about that stuff. You just plug it in and it's pretty much good to go. But if you want to get a little deeper, those are basically the main features of the Bose system. Bose, however you say it, tomato, but that's it. Alrighty, so now let's pack this up and put it back, and then we're ready to bring it back. So I'm going to unplug the microphone, okay, and we won't worry too much about that. There's a little button to push that allows that to unclip. Alright, good. And most of these microphones have a little Velcro thing. The Velcro just helps so that the microphone cable doesn't get too tangled up. Alright, good. So now, before we unplug anything, we want to turn the system off. That eliminates any popping or anything like that. Okay, so just like we showed at the beginning, I'm going to turn that off. And now we're going to unplug each cable. There's a little button here that I'll show you, because this cable won't come out unless you press this little silver button. Okay, that silver button, you're going to press it in, and it allows the cable to come out. Okay, you press it in, and that releases the cable. It's going to be the same at this end too. I'm going to press it in, and then pull the cable out while that button is pressed in. Okay? For these cables here that are connecting our sub, there's a little silver tab there. I'm going to pull the tab up with my thumb and twist to the left. And then that pulls out. Okay? So once again, pull it up with my thumb, twist, and then pull it out. And that's going to be the same on this side. Pull with my thumb, twist, and it comes out. Finally, the power, always disconnect from the wall first, and then from the unit. And then these cables go back in this little pouch in here. Okay, so I'm going to throw these cables in first. Again, try and do it as neatly as you can so the next person using this system has everything not too tangled. Make sure when you're doing, these cables can be very fragile and break if we're too rough with them. So please never wrap a cable around your arm like that. That can break it, okay? We just simply want to take it, and I usually just twist with my fingers a little bit, make a little circle, and just keep twisting that way. Okay, if you can't do that trick, just try and wrap it up as gently as possible so that we don't have to replace any of these cables. All right, there we go. Again, we've got a nice little Velcro strap here that helps keep this longer cable together and it doesn't get all tangled once it goes in. So I've got this cover again, and this cover just simply you put over top and then you slide up. So I'm going to place it over top a little bit. You can see there's just a little bit of room there, and then I just push it up and it kind of clicks into place. All right, there's no clip for this, it just simply pulls off. All right, I'm going to put that in. Again, please don't forget about this little piece here. It just pulls up from the back and then pops out. If we lose this piece, it's a little painful. All right, so make sure you don't forget that piece there. All right, and now we're going to take these off. It's very simple. You just lift up, okay? Lift up the first piece like that, and it slides right out. There's no button to push or anything. All right, and then I'll put it right away into the bag. Same with the next piece. No buttons to push. I just pull straight up, and it comes out. This cover just simply slides back over the sub. Like that. And then finally the base. Again, you can lift it up, and as I simply push these in, they're all connected and they all go in together like that. All right. This is a little, oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put this on. This goes in on the mixer. Just kind of holds it all, gives it a bit of extra protection once it's in the case. There we go. Velcro just kind of goes on. And then finally this. You'll notice when I'm looking at this case that there's one side that kind of has a larger opening and less foam, and the other side has more foam, okay? The side with more foam is obviously going to go on the narrower top part. So I'm going to place the base in like this, and it just fits snug like that, and then this will come over top. And then we zip it up, and we're good to go. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions, be sure to comment below, or you can email us worship.arts@hccmail.ca, and we'll help you out and make sure you're all covered. Thanks, and have a great time.